Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Okey, untuk kelas hari ini kita akan sambung silibus dengan chapter 11, okey, which is inheritance. Okey, kita skip dulu chapter 10, saya akan record and then send untuk awak view dan tolong fahamkanlah. Okey, so look at this one just like your textbook. Okay, dimple a genetic defect. Okay, lesung pipit. Kenapa disebut sebagai kecacatan genetik? Just because of defect in the formation of zygomatic muscle. Okay, zygomatic muscle. There are two types actually, two types of muscle. Okay, the first one called zygomaticus major muscle. Okay, and the second one zygomaticus minor. So, defect in the formation of zygomaticus major lead to the formation of dimple. Okay. Okay. So, zygomaticus major muscle is shorter than normal. That's why dimple will be formed. So, when a person smile, bila seseorang tu senyum, apa akan berlaku? This will pull the cheek skin to form an indentation. Okay, maksudnya dia masuk ke dalam lah, itu maksud indentation. Okay, so actually dimple is a dominant trait which can be inherited. Okay, so look at this one. Ini memang tak ada dalam silibus tapi saya nak tunjukkan kat sini. Location of zygomaticus major muscle. Okay, so actually for person with dimples, this muscle shorter compared to normal. Okay, shorter, that's why when the person smile, dia senyum, dia akan tarik ni masuk ke dalam. That's why nampak just like so lesung pipit lah, dia akan masuk ke dalam. Okay, small groove, so dia ke dalam. Okay. Okay, tengok kat sini anatomi. Nampak? Bila senyum, dia akan tertarik dan masuk ke dalam. This one normal person lah, dia tak nampak sangat. Okay. So now we proceed with our syllabus inheritance. Focus on, okay, Mendel's law. Kita akan tengok. Sekarang ni chapter 11 memang awak akan belajar tentang Mendel first law and Mendel second law. Okay. For first subtopic, we will focus on monohybrid inheritance. So banyak terminologi dalam genetik ni yang awak perlu faham. Kalau tak faham, tak boleh nak faham istilah-istilah genetik. Okay, and how to answer genetic question, how to calculate. So kena faham dengan detail. Okay. So these are the learning standards. Okay, you all kena faham. Check balik. Bila dah habis syllabus setiap satu bab tu, tolong check balik. Boleh faham tak setiap satu? These are the learning standard. The first one, describe the meaning of monohybrid cross. So you have to understand what's the meaning of monohybrid. Okay, and can be presented as schematic diagram or Punnett square. Nanti awak tengoklah apa yang saya maksudkan dengan schematic diagram ataupun Punnett square. Okay, next. Explain a monohybrid cross based on Mendel's experiments. Okay, so apa yang Mendel buat? Who is Mendel? Siapa itu Mendel? Okay. Next, differentiate terms related to inheritance. Okay, nampak ni. Banyak sangat terms, terminology in genetic. Genes and alleles, characteristics and traits, phenotypes and genotypes, dominant alleles and recessive alleles, dominant traits and recessive traits, homozygotes, heterozygotes, purebreds and hybrids, parental generation and filial generation. Okay. Next. Okay. Yang saya sebut tadi, all that are terms in genetic. Next, you have to understand how to construct monohybrid cross diagram. Macam mana nak construct yang saya sebut tadi? Okay, schematic diagram. Next, determine genotyping and phenotypic ratios of filial generations in a monohybrid cross. And the last one, you have to describe Mendel's first law. Okay. So for monohybrid inheritance, what's the meaning of monohybrid? Mono, just single. Hybrid means kacuk. Kita tengok apa maksud kacuk kat sini. Okay. Involve inheritance of one characteristic, mono, one characteristic, and different traits controlled by a gene, just a gene, not several genes. Okay, so akan tengok nanti contohnya monohybrid just, okay, involve yellow color and then cross with green color. So that's why monohybrid, controlled by a gene. Is specific for color, for example. Okay, so modern genetics actually began with Gregor Mendel, okay, an Austrian monk. Macam paderi bagi orang Austria lah. Okay, so he carried out quantitative experiments with garden pea plant. So dia yang jalankan eksperimen menggunakan pokok kacang ini. Okay, kita tengok ciri-ciri yang dikaji selepas ini. Okay, this is the Mendel's workplace. Nampak? Kebunnya kecil saja dia buat eksperimen dalam makmal. Ini kebun bagi garden pea plant. Okay, so ini antara device ataupun apparatus used by Mendel to carry out experiment. Okay, nampak ni same area in 1920s. Ini contoh buat tengok ni yang sekarang lah, site of Gregor Mendel dekat Republic of Brest. Okay. Okay. So tengok saya dah sebut tadi Gregor Mendel 1822 until 1884. Okay. Ini jangka hayat dia lah. Dia dilahirkan 1822 dan meninggal pada 1884. Okay. Seorang paderi Austria lah. And also known as father of genetics. Bapa kepada genetik. Okay, kenapa? He chose the garden pea plant. Okay, scientific name for garden pea plant is Pisum sativum, and published his experiment in 1866. So between 1856 and 1863, actually Mendel cultivated and tested some 28,000 pea plants. Cultivated and tested, maksudnya dia akan jalankan eksperimen, dia akan tanam, dia akan harvest, dia akan semai, itu maksudnya semuanya sekali merangkumi 28,000 pokok kacang. Okay, so dia observe setiap satu sebenarnya, cuba bayangkan. And he found that the plant's offspring retain traits, mengekalkan ciri-ciri parent plant. Okay, tengok macam mana dia buat. Okay. Okay. So why Pisum sativum? Kenapa Gregor Mendel ni dia pilih pokok kacang? Okay, because it can be grown in small area. Awak tengok tadi. Okay, kebun Mendel tu kecil je, tak perlukan size yang besar. Okay. And Pisum sativum actually can produce a lot of offspring. So boleh dapat anak dalam jumlah yang banyak. Pokok kacang yang banyak boleh terhasil. Okay. And Pisum sativum actually can produce pure plants. Okay. So when self-pollination occurs, self-pollination means that the same flower Okay, pollination can occur in the same plants or maybe, okay, different flower in the same plant, self-pollination. Okay, pure plants means that can retain the same characteristic. Okay, kalau bunganya warna pink, so dapat anak pun warna pink juga. Itu maksud pure plants. Kita tengok nanti pure breed. Okay. Next, can be artificially cross-pollinated. Means that Mendel can cross-pollinate secara artificial. Okay. So Mendel boleh ambil pollen grain daripada enter and then gunakan tangan ataupun gunakan brush. Okay, untuk Mendel ni banyak dia guna brush lah. Okay, so that pollen grain can be transferred to another flower. Okay. And many traits known. Semua ciri ni boleh diketahui. Okay. Tak ada yang hidden. Kita tengok nanti apa maksud hidden. Okay. Above all easy to grow. Maksudnya kat sini senang sangat nak tanam. Okay. So how Mendel began? Bila dia start? Tengok ni. Okay, Mendel produced pure strain by allowing plants to self-pollinate for several generations. So dia biarkan sahaja pollination ni berlaku secara sendiri. Okay, nampak self-pollination. Okay, so fertilization occur. Self-pollination saya rasa awak tahu. Okay, pollination means that transfer of the pollen grain onto the stigma. So fertilization occur. Okay, next germination occur. Okay, konsep tentang sexual reproduction. Okay, germination ni percambahan biji benih lah. Okay, so after fertilization for sure seed will be formed. Okay, next. Mendel crossed plants that differed in certain characteristics. Okay, and trace the trait from generation to generation. So tengok apa yang Mendel buat. Remove stamen from the purple flower. Okay, artificially. Means that dia guna tangan dia. Okay. Next, he transferred pollen from stamens of white flower to couple of purple flower. Okay. Nampak? Dia transfer secara manual, secara artificial. So, pollination occur. Pollinated couple matured into pod. So, lastly memang hasil juga biji benih. Okay. And planted seeds from pod. Nampak ni. So, F1 generation produce. Okay, maybe awak kurang faham. Actually can be proved by using schematic diagram. Macam mana F1 ni? Filial generation. Nanti saya tunjukkan contoh. So this illustration just to show how cross-fertilization or cross-pollination done by Mendel artificially, secara artificial. Okay. Okay. So tengok kat sini. Pure breeding parents. Pure breeding means that, okay, purple flower, for example, kita guna huruf P. Okay, memang kena gunakan alphabet to represent the characteristic or the trait of the plants. Okay, purple, capital letter P, P, pure breeding. Okay, white, kita bagi P kecil. Kita tak boleh bagi W. Memang kena guna huruf yang sama, cuma small letter lah. Okay, so after cross-pollination occur, first filial generation form all purple in colour. Okay, awak tengok bunganya semua warna purple. Okay, after that, for the second filial generation. Okay, so bila all purple, contoh berlakunya pollination, Mendel found that, okay, 705 flowers are purple in color. Okay, while 224 white in color. Okay, kalau ikut nisbah Mendel first law, dia akan dapat 3 nisbah 1. So, macam mana nak dapatkan? Okay, contoh dia macam ni sebenarnya. Even tak belajar secara detail lagi, so tengok. Okay, pure breeding. Okay, is that purple color. Homozygous dominant. Istilah baru bagi awak. And okay, white flower. Okay, P kecil. Still pure breeding. Pure breeding maksudnya macam ni. Kalau bukan pure breeding, dia akan heterozygous macam ni. Nanti tengok apa itu pula heterozygous. So, kali ni tengok ini dulu. Okay, pure breeding. Okay, turunkan. You all belajar dah meiosis. Form 4. Okay, so gamete. Okay, then cross. Ni pun cross. Tengok dulu, tak apa. Kalau kurang faham pun, saya akan explain detail untuk next class. Okay, P besar, P kecil. Semuanya dapat bunga purple. Tapi, all F1 offspring are heterozygous. Bukan lagi pure breeding. Heterozygous means that carry hidden allele. Dia bawa allele tapi tidak ditunjukkan. Hidden allele. Recessive allele. Nanti awak akan belajar istilah-istilah ni. Okay. So, only P, the capital P, shown or expressed means that the purple will be expressed in F1 offspring. That's why, okay, for F2 generation, okay, nampak ni, F2, kalau cross, akan dapat macam ni. Okay, saya congak je dalam kepala ni, nanti awak akan faham. Apa saya ajar detail nanti. Nak tunjukkan saja sekarang ni. Okay, so, the first letter actually, kita baca trait yang di bawah. So, purple. So, 3. So, ini white. Small pp. 3, 2, 1. 3 ni semua 1. Okay, tajuk genetik ni actually sangat interesting. Lebih kepada calculation. Lebih kepada congak-congak, main teka-teka. Dia tak adalah terlalu susah, melainkan soalan itu berkaitan dengan penerangan. Penerangan memang susah nak jawab soalan. Okay, saya akan introduce awak dengan beberapa contoh soalan SPM, macam mana nak jawab nanti. So, cuba jawab. So, kita boleh discuss. Okay, so ratio 3 to 1. So, look at the characteristics characteristics found in garden pea plants, okay, that have been observed by Mendel, okay, yang dilihat oleh Mendel. Okay, so ciri yang dikaji, tengok kat sini, dominant trait for seed shape is smooth and for recessive trait wrinkle. Okay, bulat, ini berkedut. Nampak? Seed color yellow and recessive trait here is green. For the pod shape inflated and recessive trait wrinkle. Ini nampak semua inflated ni, straight je. Ini wrinkle ni nampak shape ni. Okay, pod color green and recessive trait yellow. Okay, dominant trait means that most of the garden pea plant will show the dominant trait. Okay, recessive means that sikit saja. Tak ramai. Tak ramai. Okay, tak banyak plants yang bawa ciri ini. Okay. So, sama je dengan manusia. Awak tengok dominant trait, recessive trait. For example, ability to roll tongue. Ability to roll tongue bukan semua orang boleh. Dominant trait adalah able to roll tongue, boleh gulung lidah. Okay, recessive trait tak boleh gulung lidah. Tak ramai yang tak boleh gulung, rata-rata boleh. Kau nampak? Okay. Flower color, purple and white. Okay, this one dominant, white is recessive. Flower position on stem at tip. Okay, okay, on stem at tip. This one axial. Kalau istilah tepat lah, axial at tip. Terminal. For this sebut begini. Okay, stem length tall and for recessive dwarf. For sure, most of the garden pea plants tall. Okay, and sikit je lah yang dwarf. Kerdil, okay. Okay, so ratios of dominant to recessive in Mendel's plant. Oh, cuba bayang dia kaji berapa ribu tadi kan. Okay, so smooth seed, wrinkle seed. Ni semua yang dia dapat macam ni. So dia bundarkan 3 to 1, nampak? Dia takkan dapat exact value. For sure kena bundar. Okay, so 5,474 smooth, 1,850 wrinkle. So bila bentuk pecahan, nampak ni? Okay, so 3 nisbah 1. Okay, dia bahagilah ni untuk bagi dapat nisbah. Okay, yellow. Actually kan, kenapa saya sebut pecahan tadi? Sebab actually memang ada pecahan pun. Okay, 3 per 4. 1 per 4. Okay, possibilities of getting offspring 4. Kalau dia nak nisbah, ratio, tulis macam ni. Okay, kalau nak dalam bentuk nisbah, nisbah. Dalam bentuk pecahan, 3/4 or 1/4. Okay, so depends on type of question. Okay, so yellow seed, green color, nampak lebih kurang 3 to 1. Inflated pot, wrinkle pot, 2.5. Okay, to 1. So ratio tetap bila bundarkan dapat 3 nisbah 1. Nampak ni. Okay, average ratio for all traits are 3 to 1. Yang dominant mengatasi yang recessive. Okay. Okay, so tengok summary kat sini. For monohybrid inheritance, genetic cross that involve one characteristic. Okay, for example, just height, ketinggian, and then color, yellow, green. Okay, so Mendel used pure breeds of tall and short plants as the parents. Okay, so nak tunjuk contoh kat sini hanya kepada ketinggian. Yang lain sebenarnya kalau faham konsep, boleh je buat. Okay, then he artificially cross-pollinated them. As a result, all the hybrid offspring, kacuk tu, hybrid offspring of first filial generation were tall plants. Okay, so the trait which is tall stem will be showed up dominant trait. Okay, short stem that will not show up recessive trait. Nampak kalau macam ni. This one, hidden allele, which is the recessive allele, tidak akan ditunjukkan. Okay, only the T, the capital T, which is tall, the dominant trait, okay, will be expressed. Okay, so Mendel allow F1 plants, filial, okay, first filial generation plants to pollinate. Okay, so the second filial generation result dapat macam ni lah. Okay, ratio 3 to 1. Okay, next look at the terms. Okay, characteristic, traits. Characteristic, a heritable feature. Okay, observable characteristic. Okay, for example, height, color. Okay, trait actually is the subset. Subset ni istilah maths tapi nak bagi awak faham. Trait for characteristic. Okay, each variation of a specific characteristic. Apa yang ada bawah karakteristik? Awak nak kaji apa? Ketinggian, tinggi, rendah. Color, yellow, green. Okay, purple, white. So example for trait, tall or short, for height. Okay, simple. So given examples here, okay, seed color, yellow seed or green seed for trait. Characteristic height, tall or short for trait. Okay. Next, genes and alleles. Okay, gene is the basic unit of inheritance. Basic unit that consists of DNA segment. Saya rasa awak tahu gene located on a specific locus on a chromosome. Chromosome. You have learned in Form 4. Gene. Locus is the position. Specific locus. For example, here is the locus for gene that codes for eye color, for example, for human. So specific position. Okay, so a gene will control specific characteristic of an organism. For example, here saya sebut tadi eye color. Maybe for this one, hair color. Okay, example. Okay, so allele an alternative form of a gene for a specific trait. Okay, so actually just like tadi saya sebut trait characteristic, allele lebih spesifik, gene ni lebih general. Okay, so all these are genes. Genes. Allele specific. Kita nak tengok eye color, hair color. Okay. So same locus of a pair of homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome consists of paternal chromosome, maternal chromosome. Okay, paternal. Awak dapat daripada ayah. Maternal. Dapat daripada ibu. So same locus. Here means that, for example, you obtain capital B, black color for hair. And your mother may be brown. So B, for example, small b. Okay, so just because black is dominant, so that's why you will express the black color. Okay, your hair black lah. Okay, so locus or loci, loci ni plural lah. A specific location of a gene in a chromosome. Saya sebut dah tadi. Okay, so tengok ni. Allele for purple flower. Okay, nampak locus for flower color gene. Okay, gene ni dia lebih general. Spesifik kalau kita tengok kat sini. Ini color. Okay, so purple allele. Nampak? Spesifik. Okay, allele for white color. So a gene is a short length of DNA on a chromosome which is a unit determining an inherited character. Nampak? Gene controlling skin color. Gene controlling tongue rolling. Gene controlling eye color. Controlling blood group. So this is a chromosome. Okay, there are many type of gene on specific locus. Okay. So hopefully boleh faham. So it consists of a chemical substance, DNA. Okay. Okay. So next look at the dominant alleles and recessive alleles. Saya dah terang sekali lalu tadi. Okay, dominant alleles, allele which always shows its traits, sentiasa tunjukkan ciri tersebut. Contoh, rakyat Malaysia banyak rambut warna hitam. Okay, nampak? Dominant trait. Most of the foreigners, orang asing, orang luar negara, okay, USA, okay, Australia, semuanya ciri-ciri resesif sebab muka warna hitam. Okay. So kena faham actually distribution of gene due to climate. Yang ni awak tak belajar detail lah. Macam kita orang Asia memang majority rambut warna hitam because we carry the dominant allele. Okay. So when it is present and suppress the effect of a recessive allele. So kalau wujud je T besar, contoh tak ada suara dah ni. T kecil tak nampak. Melainkan you kahwin pula dengan orang yang membawa T kecil ni, you akan dapat anak juga seorang. Dalam ramai-ramai seorang tu, dapatlah contoh kat sini, rendah. Okay, yang lain semua tinggi. Okay. So example T for tall. Okay, represented by capital letter. Make sure ingat ni, capital letter for dominant alleles. Okay, next recessive alleles, allele which can shows its trait when both alleles are recessive alleles. So recessive alleles only can be shown or expressed when both alleles are present. Bila dua-dua ada, dia satu saja, tak boleh lah. Kenapa? Dominan ni dia akan stop, dia akan suppress. Okay, dia tak akan tunjukkan ciri. So the effect of recessive allele suppressed by presence of dominant allele. Okay, so represented by small letter T for short. Okay, normally given in SPM question. Okay, black, example, black is dominant color for hair, while okay, brown, okay, is okay, black is dominant for hair color, brown recessive for hair color. So dia takkan bagi, biasanya dia takkan bagi huruf, awak yang tentukan. Mungkin ada student jawab B besar. Sebab tengok black kan, B. So this one, small b. Actually kalau awak tulis T besar di sini, T kecil, huruf apa pun boleh. Tapi saya nak awak biasakan kalau black, guna saja huruf depan ni. Okay. Tapi kalau macam tadi purple, white. Okay, purple, white. Tak boleh lah awak letak kat sini P besar, kat sini W, tak boleh. Okay, so you pilih P, di sini pun kena P, tapi kecil lah. Okay, so ini adalah trait tadi. Okay, bukan allele. Trait for dominant trait, recessive trait. That's why kena faham setiap istilah. Okay, dominant trait, dominant allele. Allele can be represented as letters. Okay, alphabet, huruf. Trait, ciri. Okay, nampak ni, dominant trait expressed when both alleles are dominant alleles. Okay, or one dominant allele is paired with recessive allele. Dominant trait. Okay, ciri yang dominant ditunjukkan bila dua-dua allele tu adalah dominant atau salah satu tu dominant. Okay, nampak P besar ataupun satu P besar, satu P kecil. Itu maksud ayat ni. And recessive trait expressed if both recessive allele, okay, present. Kedua-duanya ada. Okay, paired with another recessive allele. Maksudnya sama lah. P kecil, P kecil, B kecil, B kecil, C kecil, C kecil. Okay. Okay, next. Phenotype. Phenotype, observable feature, observable characteristic. Phenotype actually sama je maksud dengan trait. Saya tak tipu. Buku lama pun sama, reference book baru pun ada yang sebut sama. Okay. Tapi ini yang lebih scientific in terms of genetic, nak terangkan, okay, ciri yang dibawa, phenotype of the parent. Dalam schematic diagram tak boleh tulis trait, kena tulis phenotype, nampak? Tapi kalau nak terangkan dalam essay, dalam soalan kena sebut trait. Bila buat schematic diagram kena tulis phenotype. Ya, awak akan nampak nanti. Okay, example, purple flower, tall stem, round seed, straight hair, free earlobe. And genotype, genetic constituent, cannot be seen. Okay, genetic composition. Nampak yang awak sebut tadi, allele semua ni, tapi kita kena guna genotype bila buat schematic diagram. Okay, T besar for tall plant, T besar T kecil, still tall plant. Dah sebut tadi kan, small p ni, okay, kita tak nampak lah. Okay, dominant allele will express its trait. Okay, short plant for small t. Okay, so nampak kat sini, alleles capital T. Okay. Okay, nampak homozygote dominant. Kalau T besar, T besar. B besar, B besar. Okay, one of the chromosome is paternal, another one maternal. Okay, awak ni jadi manusia sebab dapat satu kromosom daripada ayah, satu daripada ibu. Tak cukup satu, biasanya memang dapat mutasi, mutation. Okay, atau lebih satu pun mutation. Okay, awak akan belajar detail nanti. Homozygote recessive, okay, small h, h. And heterozygote, nampak ada dua. One dominant allele, one recessive allele. Kenapa zygote? Awak dah belajar dah. Okay, so one, kita refer kepada gamete. So now, ada dua. Satu daripada ayah, satu daripada ibu. That's why zygote. Homo because of same. Homologous. Homozygote. Dominant because of the trait dominant. Okay, nampak? So, itu cara nak faham. Homozygote, recessive. Allele recessive. Hetero different. Okay, nampak dia tak ada heterozygote dominant, heterozygote recessive. Hetero dah menunjukkan different. Okay, F, capital F, small f. Okay, so tengok kat sini. Simple sangat. Kalau dah faham berkaitan antara karakteristik, phenotype, allele, genotype, homozygote, heterozygote. Okay, height or tall stem dominant. Okay, macam mana nak tentukan? Given the alleles here, huruf yang digunakan, tengok senang sangat. Nampak? Okay, for height, if tall, for sure, genotype, TT, homozygote dominant. Okay, T besar, T kecil, heterozygote. Kalau short, simple, short memang dua-dua recessive allele, homozygote recessive. Okay, seed color, allele Y. Okay, so homozygote dominant, heterozygote, and homozygote recessive. Okay. Ini example lah, nampak apa yang saya terang tadi. Nampak bila buat schematic diagram, tak boleh guna trait. Kita sebut sebagai phenotype. So phenotype of the parent, tall stem. Okay, cross with short stem. Okay, so genotype, you present dalam bentuk huruf. Genotype, which are the alleles. Okay, so this one, homozygote dominant. Okay, homozygote recessive. So during meiosis, that's why saya nak awak faham tadi, awak faham konsep meiosis. Okay, form 4 dah belajar. Zygote. Zygote. Okay, this one zygote. So during meiosis, for sure kita kena turunkan gametes. So kena tulis gametes. Okay, so this one 2N, diploid. So during formation of gametes, N, pecahkan sahaja. N, bulatkan, wajib bulat. Gamete memang kena bulat. Kalau buat schematic diagram dalam exam, make sure you bulatkan. So random fertilization occur means that, okay, saya buat numbering kat sini. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 with 3. 1 with 4. 1, 3, nampak? T besar, T kecil. 1, 4, T besar, T kecil. 2, 3, T besar, T kecil. 2, 4, T besar, T kecil. So phenotype, tall. Nampak? Okay, F1, first filial generation. Okay, generasi anak yang pertama semuanya tinggi. Okay, so ini konsep Mendel. Allow self-pollination ataupun dia boleh je cross sendiri. Tapi ini nak tunjukkan untuk dapat F1. Okay, kita tengok contoh soalan, awak akan lebih faham nanti. Okay, and when F1 allow to self-pollinate, so kita cross sesama F1 pula, apa jadi? Okay, pokok ni cross dengan pokok ni, hybrid kan, tapi secara self-pollination maksudnya, okay, pokok bunga yang sama. Okay, ataupun bunga berlainan pada pokok yang sama. Okay, so F1 genotype nampak heterozygot. Heterozygous pun betul, sama je. Ada buku guna heterozygous, ada buku guna heterozygot. Okay, so during meiosis, nampak gametes form, turunkan saja. 2N here deployed. So now N. So random fertilization occur 1, 3, 1, 4. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 4. Dapat macam ni. Wajib buat arrow nak menunjukkan berlaku random fertilization. So phenotype of F2 generation. Sebab tadi F1. So ini anak generasi kedua. F2 genotypes. Genotypes or the alleles inside all the offspring. Okay, phenotypes, traits, characteristic of the plants. Okay, ciri-ciri. Tapi yang lebih spesifik trait lah. Okay, sebab general tadi height. Height sama ada tall or short. So now the trait obtained tall, short. So ratio 3 to 1. Okay. So actually monohybrid cross or monohybrid inheritance prove the Mendel first law called law of segregation. Okay, so a characteristic of an organism controlled by a pair of alleles. Nampak? A pair of alleles can be homozygote dominant, heterozygote, or homozygote recessive. And only one allelic pair is inherited in a gamete. Apa maksud ayat ni? One allelic pair. Only one of the allelic pair. Tadi macam ni. So during meiosis, only one will be obtained in the next generation. Okay? Konsep sama je awak belajar sebelum ni. Cuma sekarang ditunjukkan dengan detail. Okay? Okay. So summary for Mendel monohybrid experiment. Characteristic inherited from a parent to the next generation is determined by a genetic factor known as gene. A genetic factor gene. And a trait controlled by a pair of genetic factor known as allele. Lebih spesifik, allele. So during segregation of the allele actually will separate randomly. Nampak? Alleles separate randomly in the formation of gametes. Itu maksudnya. Only one allele from the pair found in a single gamete. Satu je. Okay, mana boleh bawa dua-dua. Kalau bawa dua-dua nanti mutation lah. Okay. So during fertilization, a zygote form possess two alleles, one from each parent. Okay, so kalau kat sini B kecil, okay, saya sebut dah tadi. So 1 cross with 3. Dia mesti fertilize dengan gamete parent satu lagi. Mana boleh gamete yang sama. Bayangkan, contohlah, ini jantan, ini betina. So tak boleh lah jantan-jantan. Okay. So fertilization is random. Okay, nampak random. Itu maksud random. So genotypic combination which is homozygous dominant shows dominant trait. Homozygous recessive shows recessive trait. Okay, recessive. Dominant. Okay. So heterozygous genotype. Heterozygous. Combination of one dominant allele and one recessive allele will show or express dominant trait. Recessive allele is hidden allele. Saya emphasize lagi, saya tekankan lagi, tolong ingat. Recessive allele only will be expressed in the offspring if both alleles present. Okay. So, tengok ni. Ni konsep yang dah belajar masa form 4. Kalau faham konsep ni, awak akan faham apa yang saya explain tadi. So that's all for today. Thank you.